Hey friends, what's going on? Got another video here, Brother Ray. I want to say something very obvious, but something that kind of we either take for granted or we forget at the heat of the moment. Okay. You know, no matter what you say, no matter what you say, you're always gonna have that one person. You're gonna have that one person that disagrees with you. You could say the most obvious thing in the world, and I bet you that you're gonna have some haters. You're gonna have people that don't agree with you, and they're gonna get critical of you. I'm pretty sure even if you say the sky's blue, or a fish is an animal, there'll be somebody somewhere there's gonna be someone who's not gonna agree with you. Now, it sounds crazy, but I've actually seen videos on YouTube, and I think I'm gonna look for them, and I'll post it somewhere. I'll probably create a list of them. This guy was really trying to convince that an ape is not an animal, and this was a Muslim guy trying to convince people that, because according to the Quran, Allah, he turned Jews into pigs and monkeys. So his argument was that into pigs and apes. So his argument was that a ape is not really an animal. That was seriously his argument, and he was really serious about it too. I'm telling you, man, the world doesn't run out of ridiculousness. The world is full of ridiculous things that people believe. And people are very serious about their ridiculous beliefs, and they'll defend it like violently. Like even ideologies that are not violent, that are not supposed to be violent, people will defend them violently because your belief is something that is very personal to you. It's very intimate. It's like a body part. A belief becomes part of you. It not only becomes like a body part, it becomes like part of your identity. So when you believe something, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter if it can be easily debunked, like human beings will get very defensive about it. Now, there's a part of you that has to become that way because, you need to have a backbone. You need to have something that you can stand on. You need to be about something. Right? You can't be so flexible where you're always changing your beliefs at will. Say you want to be more tolerant, you want to be more open-minded, and I've learned that. I've aimed to be more tolerant, to be more open-minded, to be as open-minded as possible, and consider all perspectives. I've practiced that, and I've worked on doing that over the years. However, that can get out of control and reach a point where it's like, what are you about anyway? Like, you believe this, then you believe that. You believe that, then you believe this. Like, what are you actually about? What do you stand on? Where are your loyalties? So that's where things, you need to be open-minded. You need to consider perspectives. However, you don't need to adopt those perspectives. You need to consider them, and you need to investigate them. Whenever you come across something that you're not sure about, you hear both sides. You hear the sides that are in support of it, and you hear the side that's not in support of it. You see which one has a stronger argument, which one has the least amount of logical fallacies, which I'll do a video about. Like if you're trying to figure out if something is yes or no, look at the ideology, and if that ideology relies a lot on straw man arguments and circular reasoning and things like that, that's kind of not a good way to sell your idea. But if you're standing on truth and you're presenting everything in context, and that person can verify it, and etc., then you have a good chance of like, you know what, your ideology is probably on point. You know, the closer to truth something is, then the higher the chance that thing is true, right? It's obvious, right? It's like, it goes without saying. So yeah, you do have to be open-minded, but you can't just adopt everything that sounds like it makes sense. Just because something makes sense, it doesn't mean that it's true, right? And just because something doesn't make sense, it doesn't mean that it's not true. So you got to keep that in mind also. And the reverse of that rule is also true. So this is where discernment comes in. Remember that video I did about discernment? Like, contradicting things can be true sometimes, you know, in their correct context. So you need to have discernment. Like, yes, something that doesn't make sense can be a lie, and something that doesn't make sense can be true. Something that makes sense can be true, and something that makes sense can also be a lie. So you need discernment, and you need further investigation to discern between the, you know, between those between the four. So the four possible options. So there you go. Like, whatever you say, you're gonna have resistance, no matter what you say. If you say that Christianity is true, you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Christianity is a lie, you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Jesus is the Son of God, you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Jesus is not really the Son of God, he's actually God pretending to be his own son, then, you know, you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Jesus is actually, you know, kind of a son of God, but not really, he's just a metaphor, just an example, you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Jesus is just like humans and he's created, and he's not the creator but a created being, then you're gonna get resistance. If you say that Jesus is actually above his Father and better, bigger, and more stronger and more capable than his Father, then you're gonna get resistance. On the other side of the coin, you'll also get people that agree with you, no matter how few of population that could be. You know, doesn't matter what you say. You can say the most ridiculous thing in the world, somebody will agree with you somewhere. You could say the most obvious thing in the world, and somebody by the thousands will disagree with you. And that's just the way it works. Again, I repeat, you might say the most ridiculous thing in the world, and somebody somewhere will agree with you. I guarantee it. Let me give you an example. The sky is not really blue. An ape is not an animal. You know, Jesus is his Father. He is Yahweh. You know, a chicken is not actually a bird. I know I have one here. What is it? What is it? Oh my God! It doesn't matter what you say. You know, a white person is actually a black person. Like, you go look it up. You will find somebody somewhere in this planet that will actually believe any of those things I said. Any ridiculous thing you can imagine, somebody somewhere believes it. Like, violently believes it. Then you can say the most obvious thing in the world. You know, like, you know, the Bible says that Jesus is the Son of God. You know, Jesus created all things. He's a creator of humanity. You can say, you know, for example, you should invest your money. You should put your money in a savings account. You should put your money in stocks. And you should learn how to trade Forex. These are very obvious things that they're correct. You should put your money in a savings account. You should invest in stocks. You should invest in Forex. Jesus is the creator of mankind. The Bible says that. And the Bible does say very, very blatantly that Jesus is the Son of God. And somehow you will find like groups, entire groups of people, entire communities of people that will say that it's not true, no matter how obvious it is. So it's something that you got to keep in mind. It's something I got to keep in mind. I made a video earlier about atheists, what atheists should realize about Christians. And it's true. Atheists should realize that Christians, the way that they see the Christians see them. To the atheist, the Christian is ridiculous. To the Christian, the atheist is ridiculous. To the atheist, like, it's ridiculous how someone can believe in an invisible being that has direct influence on humanity. To a Christian, the atheist is ridiculous for not believing that there's an invisible entity out there that's that has direct influence over humanity. The atheist should also realize that the very criteria for proof, we can also use that same criteria back at them, and it'll just blow up on their faces, And I also said that the average atheist, I even said maybe it's not the majority, maybe it's half, maybe it's 40%, I don't know, but the average atheist has no respect for Christians or Christianity. They say all kind of things, no matter how disrespectful and offensive they are. And somebody in the comment section said it's not true. I also said that most atheists don't tackle Islam. Most atheists tackle Christianity. That's an observable fact of reality. You can actually look up atheist arguments, and most of them are against Christianity. They may mention Islam here and there, but not that much. There's not much emphasis on Islam. Yes, I do acknowledge that there are atheists in the world that criticize Islam specifically. Yes, I acknowledge that a lot of Muslims are leaving Islam and becoming atheists, like Apostate Prophet. I love his channel, by the way. And he focuses strictly on Islam. I'm aware of that. Okay, so learn to distinguish, learn to have discernment, and learn how to understand context. And also understand that no matter what you say, that I don't care what you say, you're going to have tons of people that will disagree with you. I'm stating the obvious, but that's how it is with life. Sometimes you got to state the obvious.